Yeah, everybody, yeah, hello, everyone's out there. Yeah, welcome to my platform, Timo Starboy Reality Talk TV. Yeah, I greet you at your location time. So, how na day? How's the weather? Although it was raining here, all day long, and it's gonna continue till tomorrow. Today is Friday, so happy Friday to you guys. Yeah, I hope everything is well with you guys. Yeah. So as we are entering new weekend, because weekend started from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We ended up there, and we started working again, going to our daily bread, on Monday. So that's a routine we are find ourselves here. So I'm glad everything will be all right. So as you are going in and coming, God will protect you and be with you and be with your family and the rest of your life would. So I promise that whenever we are going out, you will be receiving a blessing and a good will of God. Yeah, I know that for sure because God is always with his people, his servant, his good servant. So always be with them. And no matter what, if you want to encounter a danger in your life, you will see God he will be there for you and he will guide you through. Yeah. So thank you so much for watching our program. Thank you. We love you all. Continue watching and because our program is educative, you can learn something from it. I can assure you that. So you will grab something home, This is takeaway. So, and your takeaway is ready now. So, participate. If you are first time in watching our program, please subscribe to our page, Timo Starboy Channel Blogs, on Facebook, on YouTube, Timo Star Reality Talk TV. So please join us, and on our Twitter, Timo Oladipupo 1 at Timo Oladipupo 1. So please join us in that three area. So we'll be uploading in a very nice and very educative and informative video to you guys. So I would like to play three video now. Three video, is talking about the same subject, the same issue. So and the issue of Nigeria, as you all know, there is a lot of problem over there, of which I don't know if God himself he can participate in it, because God have rendered the country to us that we can do it as we like. We have come to the conclusion in a conjunction that do it as you like. When they are saying do it as you like, that's mean they have rendered the whole problem to you. You can face it, anyhow it face you, anyhow it come to your way, you can face it as well. So that is it. That is the area we find ourselves in Nigeria, because all this kind of atrocity among our leaders, our elite, our so-called government, yeah. So they are too much of a baggage, too much of a baggage, rough, rough baggage. This one is not a clean one; it's a rough one. When I say rough baggage, you know what I mean. These people, they are biting more than they can chew. They are biting more than they can chew. So, and it's too overwhelming. It's too much on them, too overweighting. It's weigh them down too. They don't know how to encounter their problem. They don't know how to face it. And we are here, to eliminate all this their necessity, all this their rubbish, all this their bad doing. We want to eradicate all these so-called bad behaviors. We are the new face of generation. We are the generation, and we will leave it for our unborn baby. Our oncoming generation. So this work we are doing, we have just started it, and it's only God can say enough is enough. Enough is enough. It's only God he have power to that. No human being can stop us, because what we are stepping on now, it is God willing. It is God work. God give us the speech. He give us the tone. He's speaking through our mouth that we should say this. Whenever we come out, we will say things that you want to hear, not things that you don't want to hear, unless you don't want to hear it, unless you don't want to participate. And don't condemn the work we are doing. Don't say that we are lazy body. We are not lazy. We are doing it for ourselves, just to free ourselves, because this world is free. This world is free. It's totally free. It is we that we are making everything difficult for ourselves. It is human being that making things difficult. God never make anything difficult. It is we. It is through our sin. It is through our behavior. It is through our doing. That is why everything is so difficult. Just find that one. Go to the Google, go to any dictionary, find it that we cause it ourselves. We cause all this katakata. We cause all this nonsensity. All this nonsense, that something that we don't need, something that is not necessary for us, we'll be dragging it. You come to this world. You came to this world with nothing, and you will go with nothing. So what are you dragging on? What are you dragging about? Something that you cannot control. Why are you dragging it? Why are you dragging? You should leave it for the owner. It is God owns this the world. He owns all this planet. He owns everything. So leave it for him to control. Why are you controlling it? Uncontrollable. Why are you controlling it? You can't control your destiny. You don't know tomorrow whether you will wake up alive or you wake up dead. You don't know. It is only God have that one. So why are you dragging it with God? Why are you dragging God's work? That is what we are saying. So we are not just putting things in, that, okay, we want to do it on our way, It's not possible. Leave everything to God. God said, leave everything to me. I know how to arrange things. So why are you hijacking God's work in the first place? You will be saying it is you, it is me, me. It is me all over the place. And Yoruba say, èèyàn kan jà wá dé. You cannot say one person and represent we. Say, oh, it is we. For one person, it is only you. It is only one person, you, not we. You can't say we for one person. That is what it means. Èèyàn kan jà wá dé. So why are you want to represent everybody and say it is you, it is you, So we need to leave everything that is not necessary in our life. Leave it alone. Let it go. You cannot do all the work in this world. You cannot finish it. The lifespan of work is very longer than the human being. You will just work, and die there. Another person will will come over again and take your job and take your position while you have gone. So what are you dragging? What do you want to? What are you insinuating on? What is your point? That you want to achieve the whole world. So the whole world must come down to you, And whereas God never said that. God doesn't have any idea on that. So we should think with our head what we are doing for ourselves. If you want this world to be easy going, to be satisfactory for us, you need to do things in easy way. You need to be thinking in an easy way, Don't make everything difficult. Nothing ever difficult. If you are making things difficult, that is how you're going to find the result. It will be difficult for you. The life will be so miserable, But if you find it easy, just easy going, you do your things and leave the rest, what you can chew, you bite it. You bite what you can chew, what you can swallow. You chew what you can swallow. That will be very okay for your body. But if you chew too much, you consume too much, your stomach will burst, and you will not have a rest of mind. You will not have a rest of mind when you chew too much. You see, python. Let me use python as an analysis here. Python, when it swallow a goat, it will just sit down someplace. It will sit down quietly, because for that thing to decay inside its stomach, to decay, it take times. So we just sit down jejely because he don't chew what is too much for his body. So we sit down, whether it will take a month or it will take, I don't know, maybe more than a month for that thing to decay and started, moving. We never move in that spot, so it will choke. So that is what this life is. If you chew too much, you will never get yourself. You will never get yourself. You will not be composure. You will not be composing yourself very well. You will just sit down like a gentle somebody. See, because you have swallowed what is too much for you. So that is the life. Just chew what you can swallow, and so that you can move on. You move everywhere. Your body will be free. So in Nigeria, the problem is still rising. We want to talk about this foreign body observers and foreign observers that they talk about the election. They still up to now they still talking about the election. They are still talking about the election that went wrong on February 25th, 2023. They are still talking about it, that it was a sham election. It was no good. So we should be doing that thing. So they are talking about it a lot, and they give their own point, out of their verse. They give their point, and they I think they get a little bit angry that from now on they will never be part of this ridiculous shamming election that we enter, because we are not practicing democracy. They find out that Nigeria is not practicing democracy. They are not doing democracy. They are just doing crazy demo. They are democracy. They are crazy demo. Whichever one. So they are crazy. Yeah? Not a democracy. Nigeria. Wow. Too much problem. And we told everything about the solution to that state, to that country, to that land. Say, this is how you're going to do it and to make it work. But you people are not paying attention. You are not listening. You are not listening to anything we said at all. You think we are just joking here. We are just mocking here, or we are just playing draft. Yeah? Or we are playing poker. This is not a poker game, It's reality. It's what God said. What God said through our mouth. And when we see something far away, I'm just using myself as an example. When we see something far away that is going to happen, just believe it or not, it will. It will happen. This is not, I'm not a professor, and I'm not a professor or something like that, I never reached that level. But if I reach the level, I will still continue this job, because this job is sweet me. Because I need to be, just like an observer, I am an observer, so I observe things. This is what is going to, this journey is going to end this way, And believe it or not, it will. Because we will sit down somewhere and observe, just to meditate on it, that this is going to happen. And if you find it out, definitely it will happen. In Nigeria, if you don't break up that country, it will never work. It will never work. We need break up, disintegrate the Nigeria, disintegrate it, because it is amalgamated by British, by this selfish Britishan, all this Britico. They just amalgamate us in a fraudulent way, in a scamming way. When you are fraudulent, you are a yahoo, it can never work for you. When you plan something evil, the end will be brutal. Let me put it that way. The end will be brutal. Everything will scatter, because what you're building, that you are planning, you don't have a strong foundation. You don't lay a strong foundation, and you are building, it will collapse. That is what Nigeria represent. That is what Nigeria for you. The foundation is wrong, is totally wrong, because these white people, they do mago, to join us together because of their selfish interest. We have seen this time with that number. Because of their selfish interest, this Britico and France, wherever, all these Westerner people, they are the one naming Nigeria. It never occur. It never happen. Nigeria is a dream, It's a dream. It will never happen. It's not existing, because we have every culture in Nigeria, in that place that they call Nigeria. They have their own symbol. They have their own doing. They have their own cultural things, naturally, that God created by himself. So when God created something and you want to recreate it, it will have fault. It will have problem. God have made a human being. He has made everything. He make animals. He make everything in place. Trees, bush, jungle. And you want to reform it. You want to create what God has done. The job that God have finished in 7 days or 6 days. He rests another maybe Sunday, according to the Bible. And you want to reform it. You want to do it again. Who are you? Who the hell are you to do God, doing God's work, to replacing God, that you are blaming God that he doesn't do it well. That is what it means. That God has made mistake, so you will want to redo it. That you need to make a sense out of this thing, You need to use your own sense. That is what we are talking about. You can't challenge God. You can't fight for God. You can't fight for God. You can't challenge God. You can't redoing what God has done. What the work he has finished. Everything is finished. He has done with, and you want to come over and say that, okay, you will plan it your own way. Who the hell are you? I'm asking. Who the hell are you people? You white, I don't know what I can call you, whether white devilish or white whatever, So you amalgamate the country that has been existed for a long time. You amalgamate them together, and you want them to stay in peace. How that thing is going to happen? Tell me. How your subtraction, your addition, your minus, your whatever, how is it going to happen? Because God doesn't have hand in that. God never support that. And in as much as you are praying for that contaminated country, it has been contaminated. The due date is expired. The due date that the white people they give you, that this amalgamation will finish, it has expired. So it's contaminated now. You cannot drink it, you cannot swallow it, you cannot eat it. So you need to throw it away and you create another one. That is what it means. You take it to the factory and make a brand new. So the brand new we are talking about is to recreate the country that has been existing. You make it surface again, You bring it back to the book, to surface, That is Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, you know. So we need to make it surface, not that we just follow the track the Oyinbo have laid down for you. That one is scam. It's totally a scam, you know. Hear from my lip, read my lip. It's a scam, it's a fraud. You cannot build anything on fraud, on scam. You cannot build anything on the foundation that is not correct. The shaking foundation, you know, the weak foundation. You cannot build anything on it. You are just being a lies on a lies, you know. You being a lie on a lie. You will be lying to yourself. You never tell yourself the truth. You never come out from your shell. That is why everything is going wrong way. You can see armed robber, all these fraudulent people, they are the top in our government. They are the top. You see, European observer, they are coming to you to tell you what to do. And you yourself, you already know what to do. You don't want to do it. You don't want to go that trace. You already knew it that this is the right way. But you prefer to be taking wrong way, to be taking the bush, where there's no road. And at the end of it, you will enter pit, a big one, pit, you know. The hole, you enter it and your life is perished like that. You see? So that is it. You need to take a step. Only they said a journey of 1,000 miles. A journey of 1,000 miles, take step by step to walk it through, you know, so that you can reach your destination in peace, not in pieces. So if you are doing gru, you know, you are rushing, you may enter the swallow pit and you perish. You know, you need to take a step by step and go. Easy way, easy going, you know, and you meet your destination in peace and you rest. So anyway, the video I promise you, let me play to you. So it takes some time, but if we can finish it, we try to finish it. So if we can't, we continue next day. There's another new day, you know. So let me just give you this one and okay, so here is observers, you know, European observers. They come to Nigeria and condemning the Shami election. So let's hear from them. You can see this is the picture. You see them. That is the European logo, European flag, you know. So I'm not lying. My own record is getting back up, you know. Without no evidence, without no proof, there's no word, you know. So we lay on proof.
In the lead up to the 2023 general elections, Nigerian citizens demonstrated a clear commitment to the democratic process.
You have to say.
That said, the election exposed enduring systemic weaknesses and therefore signal a need for further legal and operational reforms to enhance transparency, inclusiveness, and accountability. While we consider the electoral legal framework provides an adequate foundation for the conduct of democratic elections, there are ambiguities in the law. For example, the Electoral Act 2022, which had its first test in a general election in 2023, and other legal instruments evidenced gaps in terms of transparency, accountability, and inclusivity, and left room for uncertain implementation. For that reason, we recommend, and this is our first priority recommendation, to protect the interests of voters through certainty of law for all stages and aspects of electoral processes by eliminating from electoral law and regulations errors and ambiguities to avoid potential for confusing interpretations and ensuring the revision processes are inclusive. A positive aspect of the voter registration process was active youth engagement, with 2/3 of the 9.5 million new registrants being young people. However, there is a need for greater efforts to protect genuine youth participation in elections. And similarly, ongoing underrepresentation of marginalized groups in political life requires robust remedial action. Overall, the collection of permanent voter cards was adversely affected by poor institutional planning and a lack of transparency. To ensure the accuracy and inclusiveness of the voter register, an external independent audit would be beneficial. The campaign was competitive, with freedom of assembly largely respected, as evidenced by the nationwide conduct of rallies. However, challenges such as the Naira, cash, and fuel scarcity and incidents of orchestrated violence were observed to hamper some campaign activities and to reduce attendance. In addition, the mission recorded cases of undue interference by governors, while the campaign was also marred by internal party conflicts. Personality-focused canvassing and misuses of incumbency by governors tilted the playing field, leading to increased polarization, driven by divisive rhetoric based on ethnicity and religion. Candidates' prospects to meaningfully campaign also were negatively impacted by a high level of disputes resulting from candidate registration. The mission noted well over 1,000 pre-election court cases, some negatively impacted or overlapped with the polls. Our mission recorded more than 100 campaign-related violent incidents, including, tragically, assassinations. These and other criminal acts obstructed the campaign, disrupted the elections, and suppressed voter participation. Weaknesses in the legal framework for these electoral offences and others, such as misuse of state resources, intimidation, and vote buying, contributed to inadequate enforcement. Key state institutions, including INEC, but also political parties, failed to tackle these problems. Coming to our second priority recommendation, we consider there is a pressing need to address impunity for electoral offences through robust, well-defined and effective interagency coordination governed by clear rules on non-partisanship, optimization of resources.
Guys, this is foreign observers that they came to that our election day, you know. So what they find out is what they are talking about here. You know, the shamming of the election, the rigging, the big rigging of the election is what they came out, their own observation, you know, their own experience is what they are pouring out now for you guys to hear, that thing is no go. It's not an election. Election doesn't take place. So that is what they mean. So just in case a few people we've seen, what are they talking about, you know? So I just trying to analyze it. Okay, let's move on.
Delivery of effective investigation and sanctioning, and provision of regular public consolidated information on outcomes. INEC introduced some very positive measures early in the electoral process. For example, it increased the number of polling units and established a system of electronic accreditation of party agents, media and observers. Public confidence, however, in INEC was severely damaged on the 25th of February due to its operational failures and lack of transparency. While some corrective measures introduced before the 18th of March elections seemed to have a positive impact, overall trust was not restored and eventually led civil society to call for an independent audit of the entire process. However, there is no legal requirement for qualification and merit-based appointments of the positions of INEC Commissioner or Resident Electoral Commissioner. Prior to the elections, selection processes were questioned, leaving the institution vulnerable to mistrust. We believe that these vulnerabilities can be effectively addressed by, and this is our third priority recommendation, establishing a robust operational framework for the independence, integrity and efficiency of electoral administration through an inclusive and publicly accountable mechanism for selecting candidates to the posts of INEC commissioners and recs based on clear criteria of evaluation of merits, qualifications and verified non-partisanship. A number of key issues hindered freedom of expression and limited voters' access to diverse information. For example, analytical reporting was limited due to self-censorship by state-level outlets who feared retribution from governors. Fines were imposed by the broadcast media regulator without due process. We are also seriously concerned journalists face attacks and with little consequences for the perpetrators. Therefore, on our fourth priority recommendation, we consider it essential to afford adequate protection to freedom of expression by developing a comprehensive operational framework underpinned by the skills and means for ensuring prompt investigation and prosecution of all types of attacks against media practitioners. Positively, the media raised voters' awareness, fact-checkers stood up against disinformation, and media outlets extensively covered the campaign, providing equitable exposure to both the APC and PDP. Disappointingly, politicians avoided answering merit-based questions during interviews and instead engaged in party infighting. While social media was an important tool for information exchange, campaigning and mobilization, misinformation was massively spread. Additionally, we noted legal provisions, such as the Cybercrime Act, had the effect of encouraging self-censorship, and we therefore consider amendment of the legislation is needed to safeguard freedom of expression. Detailed operational frameworks to strengthen inclusion are needed. For example, we found that persons with disabilities could not always access polling units and assistive devices were rarely available. Data on registration and voting by internally displaced persons was not published. Women's political participation in Nigeria is not in line with the country's international commitments and provision of equality. The number of women participating in the process evidences a worrisome trend of decline since 2007. Only one woman contested among 18 presidential candidates, and there were no nominated female running mates. So while the 25th February elections were held on schedule, a lack of transparency and operational failures reduced trust in the process and challenged the right to vote. Voters assigned to new polling units had difficulties in identifying their correct polling unit, and the conditions in almost half of polling units observed did not ensure the secrecy of the vote. In 16 states, the mission noted incidents of violent attacks on polling units and indeed on INEC staff and harassment of voters. The counting procedures were negatively impacted by overall poor understanding, particularly in completing forms, and chaotic and overcrowded conditions in collation centres observed. Key issues impacting the orderly conduct of elections on March the 18th included interference by party agents and a lack of adequate protection of the secrecy of the vote. The elections were impacted by outbreaks of fighting and thuggery, which led to a high number of cancellations of polling units and, regrettably, also fatalities. The introduction of the bimodal voter accreditation system, or BVAS, and the INEC results viewing portal IREV was widely seen as an important step to ensure the integrity and credibility of the elections, but lack of transparency before the polls, and notably the severely delayed display of presidential result forms on the 25th of February, for which INEC failed to give a timely and comprehensive explanation, dashed the public trust in election technologies and in INEC. For both elections, INEC did not publish key relevant information, hampering transparency throughout the collation processes and the declaration of election results. For example, INEC failed to publish the manner of calculation of the declared winners, turnouts, number of accredited voters, and the list of polling units where elections were cancelled, postponed, or not held. The absence of this information undermined the possibility for independent verification of the outcome and public trust. We consider it vital, and this is our final priority recommendation, to protect the free expression of the will of the voter and integrity of elections by establishing a robust, transparent, an easily verifiable results processing system with clear rules. These include uploading polling unit results from the polling unit only and in real time. At each level of collation, results forms to be uploaded in real time, and all forms to be published in an easily trackable and scrapable database format.
Structure in Nigeria, these are the Nigerian politicians.
So, okay, this one I finished. So let me play you another video that is related to this one, because we'll be playing it consistently. So let's listen to next video. This is about Sanwo-Olu irregularity form that is he placed on the INEC form. They say they find some shit, you know, they find some rubbish, you know, on his WAEC something, WAEC paper. So, and some people, they are trying to do some magic, you know. So that is what they talk about. So let's hear from the source, you know, from the correspondent. Okay, here we go.
The same way Tinubu is facing disqualification for forgery of certificate and lying under oath in his INEC form, it's the same way his protege and governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, is facing disqualification for submitting a non-existent WAEC result to INEC.
Non-existent
Sanwo-Olu's problem started when the PDP governorship candidate in Lagos, Jando, made a search on WAEC's website to find out if his result, the result that Sanwo-Olu submitted to INEC, really exists. The search came back negative. This was around April when he wanted to submit his petition to the Lagos State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal. This made Jando to suspect a foul play. He wondered what was going on. Did Sanwo-Olu submit a fake result to INEC? Why can't his result be found on INEC website? Perplexed by what was going on, Jando went on to subpoena WAEC to come to court and explain what was going on, to bring the certified true copy of Sanwo-Olu's result. At this point, everyone was expecting WAEC to explain what happened, but they were surprised when the WAEC representative came to court barehanded and claimed that Sanwo-Olu's result now miraculously exists on their website. This is an interesting turn of events. What really happened? How come Sanwo-Olu's WAEC results now exist on WAEC's website? Who uploaded it? What is going on? Is someone making a cover-up? Anyway, the court wasn't satisfied with the presentation made by the WAEC representative, and in order to find out what really happened, in order to dig deeper, the court ordered WAEC to go and produce certified true copy of their back-end servers so that the court can determine the actual date it was uploaded and why and by who. Yes, this is the right way to go because someone is making a cover-up for Sanwo-Olu. If his result wasn't in existence on WAEC servers around April and suddenly appeared, that means someone is making a cover-up, someone uploaded it to cover up for him. They should dig deeper to find out what really happened, even including going to the school where he sat for the exams in 1981. Why should people with questionable background and character always be at the helm of affairs in Nigeria? No one is a saint, but at least people who aim to lead others, people who aspire to be governors or presidents in the future should always be people who have impeccable character, not people who have problems with the law or have gone to prison in the past. It should be people whose character are worthy of emulation. Why should the worst of us always be leading us? What happened to others that are better than them? Anyway, this isn't the only problems that Sanwo-Olu is facing at the Governorship Election Petition Tribunal in Lagos. A witness called by Badebo Rosevivor of the Labour Party accused Sanwo-Olu of voting during the governorship election in Lagos despite not having a PVC. The certified true copy of voters' register from INEC that they tendered in court shows invalid written against Sanwo-Olu's name. So how come Sanwo-Olu was able to vote when the records show that he doesn't have a PVC? Even people who were issued temporary voters cards were denied from voting on election day. So how come Sanwo-Olu and his wife were able to vote without PVC? So definitely Sanwo-Olu has a lot of explanation to do here, including INEC. Now, let's see another problem that Sanwo-Olu is facing, which might lead to their disqualification. It's a joint ticket anyway. Another witness from the United States testified that his deputy, Hamzat, who is a citizen of the United States, that he swore an oath of allegiance to the United States, which is contrary to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The Constitution is against someone who willfully took up a nationality of another country. No one can decide where he will be born. It's completely out of his help. So if someone is born in another country and he ends up having the citizenship, there's no problem with the law. But if someone willfully applies and takes up the citizenship of another country, just like Tinubu did and Hamzat did in this case, then it is a ground for disqualification. The problem here is that Hamzat took up willfully by his own volition the United States citizenship. He should not be near any executive position in Nigeria. That's the law. Because one cannot determine his allegiance. Is it the country of his birth or the United States? If he was born in the United States, he can't help himself. It's a fact. The citizenship becomes automatic. But he himself willfully applied for the United States citizenship and was granted the same citizenship after swearing an oath of allegiance. So this is the problem here. He cannot be in an executive position in Nigeria, whether governorship, whether presidential, or even a local government chairman. He cannot be in an executive position because of the oath of allegiance he has sworn to another country. So it will be interesting to know how the tribunal judges at the Lagos State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal will decide all these cases of Sanwo-Olu and his deputy. Be rest assured that we'll be bringing you updates in subsequent videos.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
Is completely out of his help. So if someone is born in another country and he ends up having the citizenship, there's no problem with the law. But if someone willfully applies and takes up the citizenship of another country, just like Tinubu did and Hamzat did in this case, then it is a ground for disqualification. The problem here is that Hamzat took up willfully by his own volition the United States citizenship. He should not be near any executive position in Nigeria. That's the law. Because one cannot determine his allegiance. Is it the country of his birth or the United States? If he was born in the United States, he can't help himself. It's a fact. The citizenship becomes automatic. But he himself willfully applied for the United States citizenship and was granted the same citizenship after swearing an oath of allegiance. So this is the problem here. He cannot be in an executive position in Nigeria, whether governorship, whether presidential, or even a local government chairman. He cannot be in an executive position because of the oath of allegiance he has sworn to another country. So it will be interesting to know how the tribunal judges at the Lagos State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal will decide all these cases of Sanwo-Olu and his deputy. Be rest assured that we'll be bringing you updates in subsequent videos. Now, let's address what is going on IREV. Many people were surprised when they accessed the results and it was inaccessible, especially results in the FCT. In fact, it was totally blocked by INEC. You can't access them. Some people who were able to gain access noticed that the results have reduced. The P2B's results have reduced, and that of Tinubu has increased. Wonder shall never end. Simple and short, it is too late for INEC. Don't bother yourself, people. It is very, very late. In fact, it will seriously go against INEC if they are able to manipulate results. The results have been announced. They are all over the media. All Nigerian media houses have the results. INEC have published the results by themselves. They announced Abuja results, and none of the candidates made 25%. Remember that INEC have already submitted the CTCs of these results from IREV, and did they submit physical? So that is the problem they have. If whatever they are going to bring when they open their defense from 3rd of July is quite different from what is in the court, then there is a huge problem for them. It will not even affect Labour Party. Don't bother. It won't affect Labour Party. It will be a problem for INEC to submit something that is different from what they've already submitted to Labour Party or the court. So it will be a very huge problem for them. It will be very clear to the judges that these guys are manipulators, that they rigged the election. Because by law, they should not be tampering with whatever is on the IRF by now, because the law says that results must be uploaded at the polling unit. So the location makes it impossible to upload outside that time frame, outside the polling unit, outside the election day. So anything uploaded afterwards cannot be legal in the eyes of the law, because the law specifies that it must be uploaded at the polling unit after vote counting. So people shouldn't be bothered about what is happening. It can never affect Labour Party or PDP. It can only affect INEC themselves. We'll try and answer more questions in another video. Thanks for watching.
Okay, so that is it. So the last video I will play for to you now, the last video I'm gonna play is part of the process. It's part of this one conjunction with the previous one we play. So to let you, just to enlighten you, to tell you that this is what is going on in our domain, in Nigeria. So we will bring you the last one now. So let's listen in. It's all about the petition election. So maybe we have the time.
We are going to make our submissions to the court. We are going to present what we know and what we did during the elections to the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal and all the other election petition tribunals, and then they will make a determination on going forward. But as far as the commission is concerned, there were so many positives to this election. There were also significant challenges and problems with the election. We are going to address those challenges and those problems.
The resident commissioner for INEC, now so in take talk but in no talk the other things where they verse and for there. If I see how in they talk, now verse now in full in body, because he know waiting there for that report. That report they're very, very clear. Disturbing legitimacy issues they inside that very report. And they not hand them over to Mahmoud Yakubu. So Dr. Etel, you go follow me see how I know say Oyibo people, when they won't talk something where they even serious, then go just talk and small, then go they paint time, then go they manage them. But even inside there, you will know them go no say that and done serious.
Be submitted to the Parliament, to the EU Parliament, or if this report were to be submitted to the UK Parliament, or even to the Congress in the US, that is it. That election in its entirety will be cancelled. We should not be expecting that the EU Commission will come and say, oh, Mahmoud was bad, he did a bad thing. No. This is the hardest way they will present a very bad situation. Just like you said, if Oyibo tells you, I am sorry, it does not mean that he's sorry for what he has done. He's trying to tell you your situation is beyond repair. No other person can help you. There is no further help available at all. And you can see what they say. They touched violence. They touched intimidation by governors is what they told us when the election was coming as structure, and what P2B defined as structure of corruption. They talked about violence. We do know that there was violence all over. There was violence in many states of the Federation. I remember as soon as the election started that day, somebody was talking about one state in the south part of Nigeria that the governor came with his convoy to scatter the election, and ballot papers were scattered all over the floor. And when they picked all those ballot papers and looked at those ballot papers, they were all Labour Party, Labour Party, Labour Party. You remember that channels were brought as a witness. And I remember that I was seeing those channels, television people in Lagos area during the election. The channel's reporter was there live reporting that he was here when thugs came, scattered all the polling unit booths and ballot boxes, especially the one covered with red cover, which is the presidential. And when they picked up those ballot papers, they were all Labour Party, Labour Party, Labour Party. So what the EU Commission is saying, they are trying to summarize the crime that was perpetrated by the people we entrusted to protect us, which happens to be INEC. And the implication, number one,
Dr. Tel, let me redirect this. I want you all to look at the fact that European Union actually spent a whopping 17 billion naira on this Nigerian election. That is about 39 million euro for this election. I also want you to highlight that. Go ahead.
It impacts on the integrity of Nigeria as a nation. It will go a long way to also impact to what extent such international bodies will come to the aid of Nigeria tomorrow. Given that as much as 39 million euros went down the drain for this same election that turns out to be a sham, it's unfortunate because that is with respect to election. What of if we start talking about investment opportunities? A country can only attract investors when those investors feel that there is a level playing ground, that is not going to be the winner takes it all kind of environment. And remember that this amount of money, $39 million only came from European Union. That did not include the hundreds of millions. I think it was about 340 billion naira that was
our own side.
About 300 billion from our own side, which was also given to INEC. Yet, INEC told us that they cannot buy enough beavers as what is called in electronics redundancy. It means that every polling unit ordinarily should actually have about 4 beavers. If the first one fails, the second one will come. If the second one fails, the third one will come. The fourth one will come. They had all this money. They squandered all this money. The ones they got from Nigerians, the ones they got from European Union, the ones they got from the United States, the ones they got from the UK, the ones they got from African Union, the monies they got from all over the world. All of them went down the drain. We do not know today as we talk how much money that was expended, yet the election was a sham. And the implication further going forward is that it impacts on the integrity of Nigeria, on the trust people have on Nigeria. In fact, one of the people who commented on our program yesterday, I think one Esther 453, says something that I would like to quote. He says, what INEC did was actually a statement on our character that permeates every facet of our life. It is a statement that is going to take years to correct, except the court summons courage to start the damage control now. That's what someone wrote after our program yesterday. And I support Esther 453. If the court did not start the damage control today, this will continue to haunt Nigeria.
Exactly. So damage control. Talking of damage control, yeah. So it relies on our judiciary, our judges, to make amendment, to do the needful. We want them to do the needful. That is what we are chanting for now. That is what we are agitating for now. If the needful is not done very properly, it will take us a lot of problem, that we never resolved. We're already in a problem, but we want to get out of this equation, we find ourselves. So that is it. Anyway, thanks you guys for watching my program, Timo Starboy Reality Talk TV. Continue watching and leave your comment below. Thank you, thank you, thank you. God will bless you in all your way. Amen. Thank you. Have a lovely weekend. Bye. Love you all.